Welcome back to the channel. Today, we're uncovering one of the most tragic and controversial events of World War II, the Katyn Massacre, and the decades-long cover-up that followed. This atrocity involved the execution of thousands of Polish officers and intellectuals by Soviet forces, a crime that was buried under layers of deception and denial for many years. In this episode, we'll explore the events leading up to the massacre, the subsequent cover-up, and how the truth finally came to light. Let's dive into this dark chapter of history and uncover the story of the Katyn Massacre. In 1939, at the start of World War II, Poland was invaded from the west by Nazi Germany and from the east by the Soviet Union, following the secret Molotov-Ribbentrop Pact. As the Soviets occupied eastern Poland, they captured thousands of Polish military officers, police officers, and intellectuals. In the spring of 1940, under the orders of Soviet leader Joseph Stalin, the NKVD, Soviet secret police, systematically executed over 22,000 of these prisoners in the Katyn Forest and other locations. This massacre was part of a broader effort to eliminate Poland's military and intellectual elite, weakening any potential resistance to Soviet control. The massacre was brutal and efficient. The prisoners were transported to secluded locations, where they were shot in the back of the head and buried in mass graves. The Katyn Forest, near the city of Smolensk in western Russia, became the most infamous of these sites. The goal was clear: to erase a generation of Polish leaders and thinkers who could pose a threat to Soviet domination in the region. When the Nazis discovered the mass graves in the Katyn Forest in 1943, they were quick to exploit the atrocity for propaganda purposes, blaming the Soviet Union for the massacre. The Soviet government, however, denied responsibility and instead accused the Germans of committing the crime. This denial was upheld even after the war ended, as the Soviets sought to maintain their narrative and avoid international condemnation. For decades, the Soviet Union continued to suppress information about the massacre. Polish survivors and government officials who sought to uncover the truth were silenced, while the Soviet regime used its influence to keep the subject off the agenda in international forums, including the Nuremberg trials. The cover-up was so effective that many in the West were unsure who was responsible, with the Soviets successfully casting doubt on the evidence. The denial of responsibility for the Katyn Massacre became a cornerstone of Soviet propaganda, and any mention of the event was strictly censored within the Eastern Bloc. It wasn't until the 1980s, as the Soviet Union began to weaken under Mikhail Gorbachev's policy of Glasnost openness, that the truth started to emerge. Finally, in 1990, the Soviet government officially admitted that the NKVD had carried out the massacre on Stalin's orders. The admission of Soviet responsibility in 1990 was a significant moment in the long struggle to bring the truth of the Katyn Massacre to light. This acknowledgement opened the door to further research and documentation of the event, allowing historians and families of the victims to finally gain some closure. It also marked a crucial step in Poland's efforts to reconcile with its past and with Russia, despite the lingering wounds caused by decades of lies and cover-ups. However, the legacy of the Katyn Massacre and its cover-up remains deeply felt in Poland and among the Polish diaspora. The massacre is remembered as a symbol of the brutality of Soviet repression and the lengths to which the Soviet Union would go to maintain its power and control. The event also serves as a stark reminder of the dangers of totalitarian regimes and the devastating impact they can have on entire nations. The Katyn Massacre and its subsequent cover-up represent one of the darkest chapters in World War II history. The tragedy not only claimed the lives of thousands of Poland's brightest minds, but also left a legacy of deception and denial that lasted for decades. As we reflect on this event, it's crucial to remember the importance of truth and accountability in the face of atrocity. If you found this exploration of the Katyn Massacre insightful, be sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notification bell to stay updated on our future content. Let us know in the comments what you think about this historical event, and if there are other topics you'd like us to cover. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.